What's up, everyone? It's Denise Salcedo at Sportskeeda, and today is our Royal Rumble prediction show. And I am very excited to introduce to you my special guest for this evening. He is none other than Talk Sports' very own Alex McCarthy. What's up, Alex?
Hey, Denise. Thank you for the invite.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you on.
Excited to be alongside you.
Yes, I feel like we've been social media friends for a while, but never, like, besides the show we did just last week or this week, I'm already confused on my dates with you. I feel like we've never actually done a one-on-one show.
I know. I was thinking this because obviously I was hunting you down to get you on Talk Sport. But we were just talking about the time difference between us is always killer. So making it happen was hard. But alas, here I am. You're up early. It's my afternoon. And we're going to talk the Rumble. So thank the Lord we've come together.
Exactly. And I love the fact that for you, it's like 4 p.m. and you've practically had a whole entire day. And I'm like barely like waking up, trying to get my footing. Like, waking up early is very, very hard. But I am excited to talk about the Royal Rumble here today because, as you know, the Royal Rumble is perhaps the most exciting pay-per-view of the year. Do you agree? Oh, no. Did I lose you? Oh, we lost Alex. Oh, no. He'll come back, though, guys. We will get him back. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and give some shout outs to some people that are in the chat. So we got, let's see who we have in here. Good morning to Carissa Lopez. Looks like she woke up early as well as I did, and that's always very, very hard. She calls herself the resident fantasy booker. Thank you so much for coming on here, waking up early. And then Jake Larson says, Denise even woke up early for us. What a pro. Oh, he's back. Yes.
I'm moving around my house now. I've had enough. I
was like internally freaking out, Alex.
I've decided it's my bedroom now. It ruined me with Josh Barnett yesterday. I was talking to Rocky Romero. It was trying to scuffing me. But I will not let it. I'm convinced it's my bedroom. So I'm going to set up camp as we speak in my kitchen, I think.
What's going to happen. Do it. Wherever you need to do it. I love that. For a second, I was like, oh, man. I was like, he's gone. I was like, I'm going to read people's comments. But like internally, I was freaking out that you weren't going to come back anytime soon. So I'm very happy to be back on here. Yes. All right, guys, let's give Alex a second to get together, get his things. It's 2021. We're all working in the world of streaming. And let's just face it, the internet isn't always our friend. Trust me, I've been there. We have a comment from D-Train Riotmaker says, good morning, everyone. It's Rumble weekend. So that's what I was going to ask you, Alex. Do you think that the Royal Rumble for you is the most exciting pay-per-view of the year?
Yeah, it's my favorite. By quite a distance, I think. Like, I know WrestleMania is like the one for people, but for me, the Rumble is just its own special attraction. The Rumble match itself, especially now we get two with the women and the men, I just feel like that has kind of bookended the show nicely for me. And I was at the Rumble last year, right? Like the last time I went somewhere and things were normal. Saw Edge's return, saw Drew win the Rumble. It was like amazing. It's I honestly think that's one of the best Rumbles there's been in a long time from the men's perspective, with the whole Brock narrative and all that good stuff. So yeah, for me, I don't think you can replicate anything like the Rumble throughout the year, and I just love the way it kickstarts everything onto WrestleMania. I like it when there's those little stories sewn into the Rumble that then carry on to WrestleMania. I as you can probably tell, I love it.
You know what, Alex? I have a bone to pick with you now because now I'm upset at you. Here's why I'm upset. I'm upset because my entire life, the one event I've never been able to attend live is a Royal Rumble. And you're telling me here that you were at last year's Rumble when we not only had the return of Edge, but an amazing booked Rumble with Drew McIntyre winning. And one of the last events was like People Really, and you got to experience it. I am so, so jealous. Like that's been one of my bucket list items to do in life is just even attend a Royal Rumble. With that, I'm curious, do you have like any like Royal Rumble traditions, like anything that you do like for the Rumble that you're like, oh, I got to do this like every year or anything like that?
Well, you know what? I used to, quickly to circle back on what you just said, actually. So my first WrestleMania, right, was 33, and that's when the Hardys returned. So it's
nice.
it's like wherever I go,
someone returns
back. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in terms of like Rumble traditions, it's weird now, right? Like, and I'm sure you can attest to this. Like now we get paid and stuff to watch and cover it. It changes, but it used to be like the annual thing with like me and my boys to get together and watch it, because obviously UK time, you know, you got to book time off work. It's like you don't want to go to work Monday morning. 1 a.m.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. That's terrible.
but we used to like full on book days off work. All of us would make sure that we had the Monday off so we could stay up late, get together, you know, pizza and the Rumble. That'd be the thing. And now I'm like, soz, I can't do that with you. I need to do my thing. So I kind of miss those days though. But
I feel you.
Can't have it.
Yes. Yes, that's why I wanted to ask you, because it's the same thing for me. Like the Royal Rumble parties, I always think they're so much fun, you know, to do the little pools and all of that. So it is something that sort of feels like it was taken away this year. But we do have a comment from Carissa who says, I agree with Alex. The Rumble is the most exciting pay-per-view of the year. You never know what's going to happen. Debuts and returns happen at this pay-per-view. I also want to attend a Royal Rumble one day. You and I, sister. Alex, why do I feel like whatever next Rumble you attend, we're going to be seeing, I don't know, The Rock and Cena coming in on that Rumble. Since you got the good luck charm.
If it froze again, then I ain't even caught the end. Hit me.
Oh. Okay, so basically I said that since you get all the good returns, I can guarantee that the next Rumble that you attend live, we're just going to get we're going to get The Rock, we're going to get Cena, we're going to get all these people popping into that Rumble, people that you didn't expect all of a sudden in there.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like WWE, if they give me some comp tickets, we know what's happening, guys. Someone is returning. But that does, like, I was convinced when we thought that Mania was going to be at Hollywood this year. I was convinced The Rock was coming back. Convinced.
Oh, Alex, you're just depressing me today.
I know.
Now I have to wait till what year did they say? 2024? I don't even know what year anymore, but it's going to be I feel like it's an eternity from now when they finally get to having WrestleMania in Hollywood, even though it was supposed to be this year, and we haven't had a WrestleMania here since 2005. Like, that's forever ago.
That's literally criminal that it's been that long.
Yes. We have a comment from Riju who I want to read, because Riju says, hey, Alex and Denise, the dream tag team we never knew we wanted.
Riju is a good egg, if there's ever been one. Love that guy.
Completely agree with you. So let's go ahead and jump into our Royal Rumble predictions. You know, even though we have 2 lengthy actual Rumble matches, there isn't very much announced for the actual card. We only have 3, 4, 5 matches really announced. So we'll kind of just go ahead and dive into those, and let's just see how we feel. So let's start off with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Charlotte Flair and Asuka defending their tag team titles against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Alex, what are your thoughts? Who do you want to see win, and how do you feel about this match?
So like Nia and Shayna, when they first happened, I was kind of a bit like, you know, I wanted Shayna to be treated a bit better, maybe. Like, I feel like the Asuka match and the Charlotte Flair match, there's a lot of stuff there for Shayna Baszler to do that she hasn't really had the chance to do yet. So I was a bit like, this tag team's a bit thrown together. And then they're the ones to dethrone Bayley and Banks. I was a bit like, that can't have been thought out long ahead. Surely, like, that must have been a last-minute shout. So they've grown on me, is what I'm trying to say. I do feel like they both have grown on me a little bit, even if Nia might not be my cup of tea overall. I still think the main narrative here is that Charlotte will be turning on Asuka at some stage. There's going to be a breakup. Is it now? I don't know what Charlotte Flair is doing at WrestleMania. I really don't. But I could see another installment of her and Asuka, with hopefully Asuka getting the win back that she dropped at 34. And I could see it. I could see the breakup and the splinters beginning now. So I think Asuka and Charlotte drop the belts.
Ooh, but see, is Asuka Charlotte a WrestleMania match that you care to see? Like, do you have interest in wanting to see that?
Yes. I mean, I would prefer if Rhea Ripley made her way back to Charlotte in some way and beat her. And I know I'm just rattling off matches of where Charlotte loses here. But I would be interested in Asuka also beating Charlotte Flair, because I feel like their history, and like I said, Charlotte was the one who halted her at 34. So I would like to see Asuka get her vengeance. Because it is hard to know what to do with Charlotte Flair to appease everyone. Because if you keep her out of the title picture, what do? That is like her whole persona and character. So the next things I can think in my mind are like the people that she's kind of trod on to get to the top, I guess. And Asuka and Rhea Ripley are the two people I think about. But what about you? What would you do with Charlotte Flair?
So, like, I'm a big Charlotte Flair fan. Like, I get mad whenever people are like, oh, we hate Charlotte. We hate Charlotte. I'm like, guys, do you realize how good we have it with Charlotte Flair? Like, she is an incredible athlete. Like, not anybody can be Charlotte Flair and put on the type of caliber matches that she has. So I almost feel like there needs to be more respect put to Charlotte Flair's name. So in that sense, like, personally, I wouldn't care to see Charlotte Flair versus Asuka again, just because I mean, they still have time until WrestleMania to really get me hyped for that if that's the direction that they're heading in. But right now, personally, I have zero interest. And that's the thing about this match, this women's tag team championship match at the Rumble. That is my dilemma, where I don't have an interest, because I don't care for Charlotte Flair and Asuka as a tag team, because I see them as a short-term, last-minute sort of put-together tag team for this. And then secondly, I'm not a fan anymore of the Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax situation. Like, I don't think I was ever really a fan. I was just like tolerating it. But I've never really been a fan of the duo there. So in that sense, I'm like, well, I kind of, whoever wins for me, like, I don't even think it'll impact my feelings necessarily.
Yeah, and I think the thing about that is that this match is probably a vehicle for what either Charlotte is doing next or somebody else, right? Like, and that's kind of the frustrating thing. I don't think the tag titles are even really the central story in this match, which, you know, are Shayna and Nia going to be a long-term team? Probably not. Are Asuka and Charlotte? No. So where do we go from here? That's an interesting thing. But it's very hard to care about who walks away with the belts, if that makes any sense, because I don't really think that's the...
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think you cut off for that last second, but that's all right. I get where you were going. We lost Alex, guys, but it's okay. In the meantime, I'll read what you guys are saying here. Let's see what we got. We got a comment from Uptown Avon Dale, who says, Alex's Wi-Fi is the Nia Jax of technology. It hurts us all, but probably not on purpose. That is a very interesting comparison of Alex's Wi-Fi, guys. That is hilarious. We have a comment over from, let's see, we'll read this one from Dave Lay Imeson, who says, Seth's supposedly going to help Roman and get revenge on Kevin Owens. Don't know who I can predict the Rumble winner, but lots of rumors of CM Punk returning. Stories stating he signed a 1-year contract have been befuddled by WWE, but feel Keithley. A lot to unpack in this one single comment. And we'll get Alex back in a second, guys. But I really feel like this is the Rumble where, like, anything can happen. So especially because we don't have like a clear-cut person of who we think is actually winning. And Alex is back. Woohoo!
My internet hates me.
Why okay. Don't worry about it. I've seriously, Alex, like, I have been in your shoes. I was just in your shoes last Monday or the Monday before that. I was having the worst Wi-Fi ever. So it's so stressful and like annoying, but I get it. Like, I feel you.
I stream like every night and it's fine, and I'll do something during the day and it hates it.
What? Yes. Oh my God. I feel you like 100% on that. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the next match. It is for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defending his bout against Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. Alex, how do you feel about this one? Who do you think's winning, etc.?
I am huge on Roman Reigns. He is my guy. I love the Tribal Chief. I feel like this is one of those great placeholder matches, right? Kevin Owens is great. Last man standing between him and Roman, also great. Do I want more for Kevin Owens? Sure. But I think at this point, it's all about Roman. Roman's trip at the moment to WrestleMania and whatnot. He is the focal point. He's the biggest star WWE have got, in my opinion, probably alongside Sasha Banks. And I just think this would be one of those great matches. Roman obviously retains but it's another kind of notch on a nice run. And Kevin Owens is like severely underrated in like stipulation matches. He's really, really good. His WWE track record is quite spectacular when you think about it. So it's the perfect foil. But I do think the main thing coming out of this will be full steam ahead, Roman Reigns.
I completely agree with you. Like, even though Kevin Owens hasn't necessarily, been getting a lot of wins over Roman Reigns or anything like that, there is more upside right now to having Roman Reigns win, because he really is the main, he's really the it guy right now. The guy that everybody is talking about, the guy that everybody's interested in, like you just said right now, like he is doing some of his best work right now. And technically what WWE has been wanting for him to get to this point for such a long time. And now he's finally gotten there for us. So I do agree. Now, do you think we're going to see any sort of interference between Jimmy or Jey Uso?
Yeah, that's kind of like been the hallmark of Roman thus far. I spoke to Jay like September time last year, and he said Jimmy was kind of due January or whatnot. So the bloodline fully reformed would make a great visual. The Rumble would be a great place to do it. And I think, seeing just the bloodline fully formed alongside Roman, everyone can get behind that. And it would be a great way as well, because there's a story to be told, because Jimmy wasn't he's been fighting it. Although Jay has now succumbed, Jimmy was fighting it. So we'll see where we go with that one. But it's going to take a lot to put Kevin Owens down. That much we learned from TLC. So I think it goes without saying that Roman and his cohorts are going to have a lot up their sleeve.
I think aside from the actual Rumble matches, I think this might be match of the night, because we already know that Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns can really go. And even if we know that even if we feel like Roman is the definitive answer of who's winning here, I don't think that's necessarily taking away anybody's interest from this match, just because you know what kind of level both of these guys can work at, especially together.
Sorry, it was like a piano was playing in my headset for some reason then.
You're like, what? Let's like what's happening here? All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next match. So after this, we have, this is probably the most controversial match on the card by far. And I can already feel by your breathing, I'm very excited to get into this one. It is Drew McIntyre defending his WWE Championship against Goldberg. Thoughts, opinions, feelings, anger, whatever you have inside of you.
It's all the emotions, every single one you can imagine. I'd see no reason why Goldberg needs to be in title matches at this stage. I don't think even a win over Goldberg particularly helps anybody in the title picture. He can't bring enough to the table that really helps anybody get anything over it. Other than his name, there is nothing you can gain from a Goldberg scalp. Like, his matches are so basic. I'm sorry. Like, obviously, he can do more than I can, but he's at the end of the day, it's a spear, it's a jackhammer, and I hate to be hypercritical. He's not even doing those that well at the moment, right? So, his recent track record. If you give me a banger,
oh no, we lost Alex. Good, because he was bearing Goldberg, and I'm a Goldberg fan, so I'm gonna take this as a pro. The gods are on my side. Even though I don't want Goldberg to win, I like Goldberg. I'm a fan. What can I say? We have True Heel Heat fan who says, oh man, Denise said the G word, folks. Put some respect to Goldberg's name, guys. I'm a fan, so it is what it is. I actually think, I know Alex just said right now that he feels there's no benefit for Drew McIntyre in terms of getting him to actually winning. So Alex basically says that Drew McIntyre, there's no pro in terms of having him win against Goldberg. So having a match against Goldberg, but I actually think the opposite. Like Alex mentioned, the fact that Goldberg's name is still something that, I think people still care about. Maybe not all the people, but some of the people. So personally, oh, there we go. We got Alex back there. Alex, you should have said I threw shots at you while your internet was gone.
I heard
with you.
On the way in, I heard you defending Goldberg, and I'm like, gosh, you didn't wait.
I was like, all right, well, he's gone. I might as well jump in here. No, but I'll reiterate what I said while you were gone. Basically, I said that I know that you kind of feel like there's no benefit in Drew McIntyre beating Goldberg, but I feel like there is some benefit in terms of, like you mentioned, he has the name. And that's the thing that I hope with this match, because, we mentioned that Goldberg has, certain moves and that's about it. I think that if they keep this match short and sweet and, just have it be, Goldberg hits his greatest hits, but have Drew McIntyre coming up on top, get him with that Claymore, really put over the move, really put over, Drew McIntyre as a champion. I do think if this is a short and sweet match, this could be, I'm hoping that it turns out to be something good, something similar to how we felt about Goldberg, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you give me the banger that he had with Lesnar at 33, sure, okay, I'll sit and watch that. But we haven't been getting that from Goldberg in the past couple of years for whatever reason, and I'm sure it's not all down to him. And I say this all the time. I don't have the problem with Goldberg. It's not his fault that Vince McMahon chucks a load of money at him to come in and do Dolph Ziggler in like a minute. That's not his fault. I just think you're right. There's a lot of people that would take something from a win over Goldberg, and Drew himself probably would, right? Probably would mean something to Drew. But I think there's a lot of fans like me that would prefer if I would rather watch Ricochet and Drew tear it up for like 15, 20 minutes than whatever Goldberg kind of can or can't do at this stage in his career. And that's probably more to do with the aesthetics than anything else. I just think the luster of Goldberg, for me, has just kind of completely dried. And
see, the gods are against Alex. He says one bad word about Goldberg and he's out. He's out. We'll have him back in a second. In the meantime, I'll read what you guys are saying over here. We have a comment over from Al P. Katu who says, Miz cashes in and wins the title. God, I hope not, guys. I am as passionate about this whole situation with the Miz as Alex is about Goldberg, because I do not want to see the Miz cash in and win anything. Like, if he cashes in, I hope he gets like speared or claymored and that's it. Like, he's done, out of there. Tim says the Goldberg fans cut Alex out of the chat. Yeah, seriously, maybe we got like some Goldberg hacker fans who are in here and they're like trying to mess with poor Alex's internet. I can only feel for him. I'm telling you guys, like, this happens to me like almost like every other time where like your internet is just like shot and whatnot. Okay, let's see. Ryan K. Bowman says anybody who says they weren't popping hard for Goldberg in 1998 is telling a fib. Exactly. Like, I feel like there were so many people that loved Goldberg then, and now like it's been forgotten about. Alex, your facial reaction is saying all of it. Go ahead, unleash your feelings.
So yeah, it's not that I don't like him or think that he can be used in different ways. I just feel that Goldberg in the title picture, I didn't love it when he beat Kevin Owens. I didn't love it when he beat The Fiend. And I think above all else, I'm worried he's going to take it off Drew.
You know, it's funny. I got to read this one. Ryan K. Bowman says, Alex has been steered out of this podcast. That's hilarious.
I've set up now where I usually stream, but like my daughter is on a tablet in the background, so could be a run-in. I don't know.
Hey, let's have it. She could cash in her money in the bank in on this stream.
Yeah. She probably looks at Denise and goes, "I want some of that." Let me in.
Exactly. Let's get this girl out. I'll take her spot. Craig Backlund says, I think the Fiend got Alex. Did you let him in, Alex?
The Fiend's dead, right? He's burned. Gone.
I don't even think I understand this storyline. So I'm not even I don't even think I think he's dead, right? I don't even know anymore. Whatever. All right, let's go ahead and move on. What match are we on? All right, so I think we both agreed that Drew McIntyre definitely needs to win. I think we're just hoping for a decent match. Yes. Let's jump into the Women's Royal Rumble match, because this one, I think we have several options. Who do you think, who would you like to see win, but who do you think is actually gonna win?
I think this is the first Royal Rumble, both sides, for men and women in years, where you've literally got 4 or 5 very good options either way. Like, I think WWE would have to go out of their way to not get it right this year. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of presentable options in front of them. For the women, I like Bianca Belair. I know that's a bit of an obvious pick in some people's minds, but I don't. And I've seen some people say, "Oh, well, maybe a year from now." We're like, why not now? Like she's got all of the intangibles and all of the things you could ever hope for in making a superstar. I know fans not being there for a big Rumble win is maybe not the star-making moment you hope for, but we have to adjust. We have to adjust and keep going. So I've always said all along, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, I'd really like Sonya Deville to kind of like use her position to get herself into the Rumble. Any of those three, and I wouldn't hate Bayley making her way back to Sasha. That's like my four. But if I had to say one, Bianca.
See, I actually feel like we're gonna twin on this one, and this is kind of crazy because last night when I was doing Wrestle Talk, we were so different on our opinions of who we wanted to win the Royal Rumble. So for the women, I actually agree with you in terms of having Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley, and if it's not one of them two, I think that it would be somebody like Bayley. Although I don't hate the idea of Sonya Deville again using her status to maybe get herself, the it spot and have it come out, have an easy win, but if I had to pick between Bianca and Rhea Ripley, I would go with Rhea Ripley just because I feel like she has been like almost there at getting to this next point, and she has it all. And she's, obviously been there, a while. We've known her a lot longer. So I feel like her moment has to come eventually. Like I feel she was robbed of that like WrestleMania moment in front of an audience over in Tampa. Like she was robbed of that, experience, and like so many others, right? But I just feel like Rhea Ripley, she has, and this is not to take away from Bianca because she's amazing, but I do think that right now, I think it's a stronger moment for Rhea Ripley in terms of like, this is it. Like she's been showcasing herself nonstop on NXT, has proven she had one of the best matches that I have seen with her and Raquel. And so I just feel like it really is her time to actually, grab it by the horns and win. And I do feel bad because whoever does win the Royal Rumble this year isn't going to have that like magic moment in front of all the people. So that does suck, but it kind of just goes to show the kind of place we are in the world right now. But yeah, I feel you on that. I really do think that it's going to either be Bianca or Rhea Ripley, possibly Bayley.
I think what you just said about Rhea Ripley is totally true. And if you're looking for that feel-good Rumble, I think there's a lot of fans that would like to see Rhea get her moment after falling to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, not having the... she's had a good year in NXT, but like the way people expected her to rise or wanted her to be used. So I feel like a lot of people would like to see her get that moment and the redemption story along the way. Like if she works her way back to a heel Charlotte who holds maybe the Raw title and then beats her at WrestleMania, that would be an amazing story to tell. I'd be so behind that. So I think out of everyone, if Rhea won, there would be a hell of a lot of fans, if Twitter's anything to go by, that would be really happy.
See, it actually like that because I think part of the reason why I don't want to see Charlotte Asuka at WrestleMania is because part of me still has hope somewhere in there that we're seeing Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley, with Rhea Ripley essentially winning that match. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm like, well, yeah, we can have this match, but I feel like I have my hopes set up already on a whole different match. Now, obviously, just because I have my hopes up doesn't mean it's actually happening. In fact, because I have my hopes up, I actually think it's not happening, which very, very sucks. But what can you do? But yeah, I definitely...
To be fair, that's the same. Like my hopes in my heart. By the way, how much better is my internet in my living room?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
God damn.
That's why your daughter's in there streaming. She knows where the good internet's at.
Yeah, exactly. She's hogging it all over there. Yeah, so I've still kind of got my heart set on Bayley and Banks. And I know we've had it, but I still feel like they really deserve to have that WrestleMania spot. And like, if you had that Hell in a Cell match, and let's just say in isolation, you had that as a WrestleMania main event, that could be a legendary WrestleMania main event. I trust them to have a legendary WrestleMania main event, and I really hope they get the chance to do it. I don't know if it would be the main event this year. Probably not, with Roman doing what he's doing. I don't know what plans they have for him, but I certainly felt a few months ago they could main event WrestleMania, and I don't think it'd be too hard to work their way back to it. More importantly, you don't need the Royal Rumble win to get back to that. Bayley and Sasha is a story that will always be there. So, yeah, I still hope that, the women could have, oh my God, like 4 or 5 amazing matchups this year at WrestleMania if WWE are sensible, which is always a terrible asterisk to have. But it's all there for them. It really is.
I like that. And I like the fact that, again, like you mentioned, there's plenty of options. And now I kind of feel maybe a little bit differently, or I don't know. Let's jump into the men's Royal Rumble because I don't know if there's a clear answer for this one or if there isn't. Who are your picks for the men's Rumble?
So again, it's like what I want over over what I think will happen. So I do think Big E is a viable contender. I'm a big Big E guy, and I still think there's something in play here where Apollo Crews was kind of under the tutelage of Roman on that SmackDown, and then he's been alongside Heyman on Talking Smack, any name but the actual name. And I think there could be something where Apollo takes the IC title from Big E, and then it kind of turns out to be maybe a conspiracy of sorts where Heyman has helped, and then he's got his eyes set on Roman, and this is how these two collide. And a Rumble win would be huge for him. On the flip side, Edge's promo makes me believe he's got a really good chance from Monday, talking about taking back what he never lost, because obviously he retired champion. And when you think about it, Drew McIntyre Edge, first time matchup, that's WrestleMania worthy. That's got some legs. Daniel Bryan is another one who's kind of in that conversation. I'd like to see, if it happened, I'd be like, wow, yeah, Daniel Bryan. But does he need it? No, he doesn't need it. The Rumble should be really about making stars a la Big E. So it's a difficult one, because if I'm putting myself in WWE shoes, it's probably going to be like Brock Lesnar coming back and winning it. It probably is. I expect like Rollins will make his return in this Rumble. Not sure he'll win it, but I expect he'll be a featured player in the Final Four or something. I want Big E. I think Edge.
I think Edge is probably a safer choice just because I don't know if Vince would necessarily pull the plug on having Big E win. And even though it'd be a great moment, and I agree with you, I prefer to see people win the Rumble that, hey, like we can rocket them into like superstardom, take them to that next level. Somebody like that would benefit from that would be somebody like a Big E. And Daniel Bryan, I know that he's the most talked about name. And the thing about that is that I love Daniel Bryan, but again, he doesn't need it. I feel like for him, it would just be like it would just be something nice to look back on in a couple of years where it's like, oh yeah, Daniel Bryan won, 2021 Royal Rumble, whatever. But right. I don't think it's necessarily I definitely wouldn't be as excited as I was last year when I saw Drew McIntyre winning. And I do like the idea of Edge winning just because, like you said, he could have that match with Drew McIntyre and that would be a phenomenal match. And, that's the thing is that Drew McIntyre, he needs opponents. And that's one of the things that's been lacking on Raw is the lack of, valuable contenders to face Drew McIntyre and, help raise his status as champion. So now I'm going to this is my pick. And I've been saying this on every single podcast. And I know that it's completely out there, but I do want to see somebody like a Damian Priest win. I think that for me would be completely shocking. Because, he hasn't gone up to the main roster yet. But how crazy would it be if he were to debut there and just win it? I feel like that's one of the things that WWE has been lacking as of late. The unpredictability factor that they used to have necessarily isn't there. So I feel like seeing somebody win that you just feel is so far-fetched, or not even completely far-fetched, but just somebody that you don't feel as confident about, like an Edge or a Daniel Bryan or even a Big E, I think would be pretty exciting to see. But again, that's super. I don't have any hopes of it actually happening. It's just an actual fantasy that I worked myself into.
Kevin Owens' friend, Damian Priest, if the reports are to be believed. I would love something shocking. And I'm a big Damian Priest guy. Coming out of NXT, when he first joined, I was a bit the character just wasn't connecting loads for me, right? Like the party boy Damian Priest. But then he had 3 or 4 takeover matches where I was just like, whoa, okay, Damian Priest is for real. And obviously he's got the size that Vince McMahon likes. So I see that as more of a viable possibility if I'm trying to put on Vince McMahon's hat, which is an incredibly hard thing to do. So it just kind of reminds me of, I don't know, Sheamus winning it in 2012. He hadn't been on the main roster. I know he'd had the title at that point, but again, I don't think many people were pegging Sheamus to win it that year. I would like something like that this year. I feel like WWE have the chance to go in so many different directions, but I don't want them to like take the cheap way out and in a way, a Daniel Bryan win would be that, because you could have him face Roman without winning the Rumble. But I think Edge winning, there's more of that amazing return, heartstrings, the stuff that WWE love. I can imagine the video package now. Like I can see that more. And I think that's different. Even though he's a veteran, I think that's different to one of the more established people winning it as well. As long as, if you do that, then you don't have like Charlotte Flair win the Rumble again. Like, make somebody in the other Rumble would be my argument. Like, there has to be somebody made somewhere, please.
Oh man, I feel like the people would be so livid if we were to see something like that. Like, so livid. And I love Charlotte, but that would be hard to defend because I know people would be so upset about it. So I think I like your idea of Edge. Like, I think I like it more than I probably did like 20 minutes ago. So so now I'm curious to see like really who's going to win the Rumble, because it could really be anybody, which makes it pretty exciting because you just don't know. And that's the fun of it all.
Yeah, that's the best part of the Rumble. Like, I remember, I think there's been a few Rumbles where it's kind of sucked. Like, I might just be speaking out of hand here, but you remember when The Rock came back and he beat CM Punk, right? And Cena won the Rumble, and it was like, we all know Cena's going to win the Rumble because we all know we're getting Rock Cena too. And that was just WWE's like laziest years. And I think the year Orton won it the second time to face Wyatt, there's just come on, a little bit more.
I feel you. Like, I don't like the ones where it's like, oh, it's just this person. All right. Or like I wasn't crazy about the Sheamus winning the Rumble because that year, because the final two were him and Jericho. And I really always wanted to have Jericho win a Rumble. So I thought that was going to be his year when he went down and, was almost there. And when he didn't, I was so disappointed. I was sort of disappointed when Alberto Del Rio won too. And then I remember not being crazy about Roman winning. So like, there's been like a lot of winners that I'm like, okay, whatever.
I'd forgotten about Del Rio. I'd put it to the back of my mind. The Reigns one, though, you're right. That was another year where like everyone could telegraph it like so far out because they'd just been pushing him like killer. And then you got the Rock standing there going, yeah, look, and everyone's like, no, no,
even that didn't help. Even the Rock,
even the Rock,
didn't do it. I love it. Well, Alex, there you go. Those were our Royal Rumble predictions. I'm very excited to watch the Rumble. I want to thank you so much for like doing the stream with me. It was very, very fun, and for taking the time out of your day to do this. Alex, before we go ahead and plug in anything you'd like to plug in, etc.
Oh God, where do I start? First of all, sorry for all my internet issues earlier on in the show. I need to restructure this house, and so you can catch me on the radio on Mondays with TalkSport. Denise was a lovely guest this past Monday, so you can get that on the TalkSport app if you are in America or outside of Britain. Of course, I have a YouTube show, Wrestling Daily, that goes 8 p.m. on we have our own YouTube channel now. We just moved from Wrestle Talk, so
congratulations.
Come join us. Yes, thank you very much. We have Steph Chase, Louis Dangor, SP3 from True Hill Heat. Great ensemble that joined me there. God, what else do I do? And obviously, I just report for TalkSport, right? So you can find me on Twitter where all my wrestling stuff is. I'm dropping a Darby Allin interview today. I did Sheamus yesterday. So AlexM_TalkSport, I think, is my handle. Come follow me. Come join me.
Guys, please make sure to check out Alex on Twitter and all the social medias and all of that. He is one of the people that is constantly bringing out good content and lots of fun opinions on Twitter. Those are the people to follow, so make sure to give him some love. Guys, do not forget to give this video a like, subscribe to Sportskeeda's YouTube channel, Facebook pages, all of that. Make sure you are following us so that you can get all of the latest in Sportskeeda. For myself, you can check me out on Twitter or on Instagram at _Denise Salcedo, and I pretty much post about everything on there. And then YouTube.com/Denise Salcedo. I'm almost at 34K, so come follow the channel. And I will be doing, thank you, it's so hard. I will be doing a Royal Rumble post show on my channel, so you guys can go ahead and check that out as well. But other than that, I've been Denise. This is Alex. Well, this is Alex, and we're Sportskeeda, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.